Hello everybody, welcome to Michigan International Speedway for the latest round in the Oakhouse Racing Xfinity Series this season. Setting into the second half of the season, now well into the second half of this season indeed. And we get to Michigan with only a few rounds to go. 9 races complete in this season. We're almost ready to go for the race 10. It is myself, Ian O'Leary, and Dean Biggles with you in commentary tonight at Michigan. Biggles, the 2-mile racetrack round here, pretty steep banking as well. It's 18 degrees in the turn, high-speed racetrack as well. Looking forward to seeing how the Xfinity cars get on round here, because it is a very, very fast racetrack round here, absolutely. And 2 miles all around, pretty steep. Looking forward to seeing how they get on.
Yep, I'm looking forward to the starting grid at the moment there. Over to you, Ewan, with Logan Gill on top.
Yep, Logan Gill taking the pole position just as he is on the top of the point standings in front of Brad Compton. They're first and second in those standings, and indeed in qualifying as well. Jason McCook is alongside Jolson Guzik on the next row. McCook third place in the point standings going into tonight. Ryan Wayne and John Russo will share row 3, followed by row 4 of Jay Trockey and Howard Peoples, 7th and 8th position. 9th place has gone to Joshua Wise, who's just in front of Wesley Beasley. He's 5th place in the points, by the way. 11th for Brandon Biggs is ahead of Andrew Floyd on row 6. Then Frank Ranger and Bill Bondsma, who are on row 7. Kevin Narrett all the way down in 15th. He is 4th place in the points. He's in front of Todd Slauson. And John Edwards and Kenneth Burma are on row 9 in front of James Burns, who's the final driver seemingly making his way around at the moment. David Palmer is still in the pit lane and seemingly not getting underway with us tonight. 200 miles, as always, 100 laps that makes it here at Michigan International Speedway. And we're ready to go in the Oakhouse Racing Xfinity Series. Up towards the start line, Logan Gill gets it underway from Michigan. Green flag in the air for 200 miles tonight.
Let's get up to speed there. Temperatures in the tyres, get used to the conditions here this evening, which I'll pull the weather up as well in a second there, Ewan. I thought you get soon. Yeah, Ewan, you want to make sure you nurse it, because of course you've got 100 laps to go, so you can't win it on the first lap.
108 degrees Fahrenheit on the racetrack. It is pretty warm out there, but down the back straight, Logan Gill leads in front of Brad Compton. Coming towards the end of lap 1, Compton just looking down the inside as Gill just goes a little bit up the racetrack, going towards the end of the first lap. This is how close they are, and this is what I mean about the field staying so close around here at Michigan. You're wide open for so long that the field stays rather close together.
A little bit of two-wide action in the back there between Chase and McCook. Just setting himself up in the single file. So far so good. A little bit of a switcheroo there between Andrew Floyd and I think Frank Ranger back in 13th and 14th there at the moment, but still. It's thick and fast up the top end, the business end with Logan Gill on it.
They're breaking away already, these two. Gill going up on high a little bit. Compton keeping a lower line here. And that's not going to give him a better run at all. It gives him a shorter run down the inside of the racetrack. Logan Gill around the outside, able to hold on to the lead. Now you can see the gap that's been created in behind, by the way. Guzik is next in line, but look at the way these two are starting to pull away from the rest of the field. Exactly.
You're going to see an idea here on the backstretch of how far these drivers are spread out as they're making their way out of turn 2. Side by side at the moment too, isn't it? There with Ryan Wayne. And talk about getting a couple of games there for Ryan Wayne. He's up 2 places currently at the moment.
2 places so far. Past Guzik and McCook. Not quite as many places made though as Kevin Narrett, who's gained 4 places. It's a surprisingly low qualifying from him actually, to be down in 15th position. He is up to 11th already though, really gaining some of these places that you'd expect him to get for sure. Wayne up high there, because it just goes a little bit lower. Wayne has consolidated this 3rd place. Nice pass indeed, 2 places gained so far in just the opening laps of this race.
You wonder if Brad's keeping Logan honest. He doesn't want to let him get away. We see what happens when Logan Gill gets away. He gets away. So think about Brad Compton. He has to hang with him, make sure he's in that slipstream there. Nice little toe. I don't think just yet, Ewan, that he's just really necessarily wanting to take the lead of this race. I think he's just happy with the pace that Logan's got, and he's happy to sit there in that P2.
Yeah, exactly. I think these two are pretty pleased with this at the moment. By the way, coming into tonight, they're 106 points apart in favour of Logan Gill, who's still leading this championship, as Compton does now go to the inside, so maybe he's not so pleased to sit behind and wait. I thought he was as well, but here he comes. Yeah. Sliding to the lead, so yeah, maybe he does want to go through, and he's not been able to as of yet, but I mean, there's barely any difference. These two know they're very well matched. It just depends which way round they're running, really.
It's true, and you got to think, if you're right up in the bumper like that, I mean, obviously it's not like Talladega or Daytona where you literally just hug the bumper and hook up on it. But you can get overheating problems, as you know, if you're a little too close to cars too often. Wouldn't be the situation necessarily here, but sometimes, you know, you might find that that's a situation, and drivers might just necessarily back off there or switch a roof for the lead. Look at this little gaggle of cars here in the mid-pack. Joshua Wise in front.
This is where the battling is at. This is where the excitement is at, further down the field, as it so often is in the early stage of races. Over the line to begin lap 7 of this race from Michigan tonight. This is, well, I guess you'd call this the midfield.
Where do you go, Ewan? Like if you're sitting here right now in the passenger seat, riding shotgun with Jay Truckee, a little dangerous to go in the middle, isn't it? Probably just to pick a side and tuck into it. It looks like the outside line might be the one that has a little bit more speed. You can see up there at the moment there with Howard and Jason McCook. It's always just tricky, isn't it, to try to figure out where you're going to place your car.
Oh, loose, Truckee, but he saves it. Very loose there, though, coming out of turn 4. And here on the front stretch comes Jason McCook, trying to retake that place from Howard Peoples for 5th here. He's on the inside. Peoples up high, very high. Next to the wall. See that slightly lighter grey on the outside there. It's not quite rubbered in, but as they run like this early, it will get more and more so. But yeah, this is a great fight for 5th position. They're waiting around at the front there for the battle for the lead. They're not doing much, but this is where the fighting is for 5th.
And just remember too, fighting equals tyre wear. The more your car slides around, the more friction is created on the tyres, and thus they will lose their traction, and that wall will start to get closer and closer and closer per lap. I think it might be another switcheroo at the moment. Is Logan saying, I won't be back up front? I think it is at the moment. Just kerfuffling for their positions. Is it bringing Ryan Wayne into play here? I think it might be. That gap that they had is starting to come down a little bit, because here comes 39 and 04.
I wonder whether Wayne is maybe a little bit quicker at this stage anyway, or at least pushing harder at this stage, because I don't think the battling, to be honest, is costing him too much time. You see Ryan Wayne there is the fastest in the last 5. The top 4 are the top 4 in that 5, but you can see Kevin Nera is moving up nicely. He's actually caught the back of that group behind there as they complete lap 9. Not far away at all from the best laps of the day, although we're half a second away currently already from those. And that's a wide, very wide from Logan Gill, who's got that line into turn 1 and 2 all wrong, and Brad Compton leads.
Yep, that'll bring these other drivers into play at the moment. That's just to show you how much speed you'd lose just by a little bit of a tank slapper into the fence. Just a tiny bit, not a lot. Probably wouldn't even scrape the livery off the side, but at these speeds, that's all it takes, isn't it? And Logan Gill's well aware of that. He'll know he's got plenty of time to amply work his way back up there. Brad Compton will take the lead, of course, by about 7/10 now. But Logan Gill will tuck in behind Rutt Wayne. Will he go for an inside? We've got to be careful too, because Dawson's down there, so you can't just cut the nose off him. Your spotter will be saying, not clear left, not clear left.
Nope, not clear at the moment. Oh, careful on the exit there of turn 2. Careful. Carefully does it out of turn 2, and does it hit? Well, Gill flies into turn 3.
Yeah, he's just sitting back.
He's taken the same line as Wayne, so he's not going to get anywhere there. Now he'll turn down, but now Wayne's gone wide and in the wall, so that will help him. Logan Gill just steps below. It was good that he was able to make that adjustment, so he didn't run into the back of the 39. But there goes Guzik as well, and Ryan Wayne loses 2 places in one go.
It's Ryan Wayne the second. Apologies about trading paint so long at the moment, so it should be loading all the correct liveries in. These drivers have spent countless hours putting up there. We're going to make sure that we show them. There's that midfield again too. You got Russo, Biggs, McCook, Trocky, all there. Lining up ready to see what they can do. When are you expecting, Ewan, first round of pit stops to come in on the green flag?
Well, this race is quite easy to divide up in terms of, because it's 100 laps, so very easy to look at this in sort of a few ways, really. If you want to split it into 4 parts, and because they've got the tyres to do that, you pit after only lap 25. Extend it to 33, maybe, split this race into thirds. We're going to see pit stops even earlier than that, lap 20. I think the window will be open. The shop window will be open at lap 20, to be honest, but I'll be surprised if we see too many in at that stage. More, in my opinion, sort of a 25 lap opening stint here. They always do have the sets of tyres to make quite a few changes, but it just depends also when and if the cautions come. So far, this has been very clean and green flag racing.
Yep, very hats off to the fantastic gladiators out here this evening in Michigan. Doing a solid job. A little bit of door banging, nothing wrong with that. That's rubbing his racing, as they say. Yeah. Just as long as you don't hit somebody on the quarter panel and in a corner. That would be the key, not to do that. Oh! And
that's contact.
They're just door banging right there, mate. So McCook luckily will get back in there and it's just like rub it off. Nothing happened, mate. Shake it off.
He does recover. Almost like nothing happened there. He's in the middle now, though. 3 wide through 3 and 4. He doesn't have to give space on the outside, as the driver on the outside doesn't seem to get anywhere this time round. And I don't know who that was, but anyway, McCook able to hold on rather nicely.
Yeah, I know, that's quite nice, actually.
On board with Biggs.
Couldn't believe that you scrubbed that little bit of speed and still back in the fight like that. That's pretty impressive.
So it's a great fight, a great group at the moment. Certainly one of the most entertaining in the field. Peoples and Narrett are starting to get away from it a little bit. Kevin Narrett's made a very good start. He must have had a bad qualifying because he's clearly not lacking in any speed here. Here's Narrett. And he's trying to catch up to the leaders here. Wayne and Guzik are side by side as they can't quite keep up with Logan Gill's chase of Brad Compton in the last couple of moments. Gill was with them about a second behind Compton not so many laps ago. He's left them behind very, very quickly to go on and chase down the race leader.
Oh, there it is, tucking in behind currently at the moment. Yeah, you can see the front too. Bunny's sitting there with his flag going up. I'd like to wave something soon. Hopefully it'll be a checkered flag really in the day, rather than a few cautions. But here we go. Once again, Logan Gill. Seeing those cars start to slide up a little bit to the wall like that. Oh, I'm telling you right now, Compton just managed to keep it off the wall, but that just goes to indicate to you that those tyres are starting to fall off the cliff a little bit now.
Lap times are about 1.5 seconds away from where they were already. So it's fairly severe here, but I think there are places where it's worse. Gill slides up in front of Compton onto the backstretch, although Compton just comes straight back again on the backstretch to the inside in time for 3 and 4. So Compton here is putting up a good fight to Logan Gill. Can he slide up straight in front of him? He certainly can.
Oh.
Well, can he? He left the space there, and there's nearly contact off the corner. Gill gets the run off the turn. He'll lead another lap. These two are the championship contenders of this Xfinity Series, and they're 1 and 2, trading positions at the front now as well.
Dawson now thinking about a little bit of a three-way action up the front, as you can see, slowly catching up. They're about 2/10 off this nice little battle for P1 and P2. These both Logan Gill and Brad have been exchanging fastest laps. Remember, there's also points for fastest laps at the end of the day, so a nice little bonus. But keep an eye out once again for that 0-4. He is slowly creeping into the picture here. In fact, he might take a 2-for-1 special if he can get the right traction there.
Compton without traction on the outside there. He saw him get loose, and here comes Guzik. He's not quite alongside, but Compton's going to get into the slipstream of Gill now and have a go in towards turn 1, is he? Not quite. Here comes Guzik, though, as it stacks up in front of him. Guzik heads to the inside. Nobody really running down the bottom anymore. It's just how much lower in the middle can you go, and Guzik is there. Is he clear of Compton? Not quite, as they fight for second.
Ryan Wayne also coming into the picture now. Is this coming down to you and drivers that have just taken care of a little bit better of their tyres, especially with Dawson, because you know you don't go down the inside apron too much if you don't have much traction there. That's why the drivers are starting to stick up towards the fence there on the high side. And look at that. So Logan Gill going right down on the inside of the apron, trying to cover off this man at the moment, Guzik, hunting him down at P3.
Well, there may be a bit of that going on as we hit the 1/5 distance of this race. I would say the window's open, the pit window, but these guys, of course, are always, as always, limited on fuel to 65% fuel, 4 tyre sets as well. You won't want to waste a set of tyres, changing them too early, if at all possible. There goes Guzik again. There's a bit of a stack up on the back stretch. It was just really the draft taking effect, I think. Compton trying to go to the outside of Gill, where there's barely room up there. Guzik's got to be careful that Compton's still alongside him. They're both trying to get past Logan Gill. It is still excitingly close for the lead between these 4, I guess you can say now. Ryan Wayne not far away either.
Bit quiet out there in the chat. We usually have all the fan clubs out there, aren't they? Shouting out the numbers of the drivers that they want to go for. Please do that. We don't buy it much. I mean, I'm not sure if Ewan does buy it, but don't be shy out there in the chat. Thank you very much for tuning in. As we've been green flag to 21 laps at the moment of 18 remaining, my friend.
We've had a very good opening green flag run, that's for sure. Look at Wayne there on the inside, running low and loose as well on the inside. So I wondered for a moment whether he might pit, but stays out, as they all do at the end of this lap. I'd say I'd expect them to go well past lap 20 to at least 25. But as I say, if they want to split this race into thirds, it's lap 33. Up in the fence for Guzik. Yeah. Just as he'd gotten past Brad Compton, he gets in the fence in front of him. Forces Compton to skip down below. Ryan Wayne is also going to go through into 3rd position.
I think it's Guzik doesn't like the high line, isn't it? Because it's pretty much one of the first times he's been up there tonight. He's been hanging down on the inside. And he doesn't like it up there on the fence, and you can see why. As it's a little bit too dangerously close to the racing car. So that cost him a little bit there. How about Kevy in the background here? He's up 10 places, our biggest charger for the field so far.
Very nicely done from Kevin Narrett. And he's currently at 4th place in the championship points. Only 16 points behind Chasen McCook for 3rd. Logan Gill a long way in front though. He is 205 in front of Narrett.
Now, not being a super speedway, Ewan, green flag pit stops, you don't necessarily have to have a dancing partner, right? You can kind of just come down by yourself.
Yeah, you do benefit quite a lot from a draft here, but yeah, you're right, it's not like a super speedway quite. It might even benefit you not to have anybody around as you're trying to come in, because it would be a difficult pit lane to get onto.
Howard comes in.
Coming in, and Howard Peoples is in. So this is a driver splitting this race into quarters, and we might see some people following Howard Peoples now.
Yep, there it is. Kenneth's coming in the pits. There's some new graphics that we got here on the Motormouth Broadcasting Network. Thank you, Jim, out there, sorting that out. There's the battle for the lead again. Compton says, give me a couple of laps, mate. Or perhaps stick it down the inside, because you remember, you don't want to be on the outside if you want to cut down the pit lane. And, yeah, those tyres are starting to fall off the cliff, mate.
Well, this lap time's not going to be a particularly representative one, because they've been fighting so hard, but they're in the mid-41s at the moment. The fastest lap of this race is currently a 39.5, and that was set by Logan Gill a little bit earlier on in the day. Both of these two, of course, fighting for a championship at the moment. And next week could be a very, very key race. And as far as that's concerned, by the way, as the final Super Speedway race of the season is an action that comes to you live from Talladega, same time, same place. But now it's Michigan, and it's Logan Gill who comes in, splitting this race exactly into quarters, because it's lap 25 and he's in, while Brad Compton decides to go on another lap.
It's coming in very, very early, isn't he? Down there. As Dawson comes, as in, I just think to stick to that apron very early, practically half the track he did before he entered down there. So will that cost him? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, he comes in, Dawson, Chasen, John, Wesley, James Burns. As you can see, they're all coming down the pit lane for the first time this evening, under green flag pit stops as well too, so no get out of jail free card essentially, although drivers do have a fast track up their sleeve if push comes to shove. Ewan?
Well, not the Xfinity Series.
Sorry, my apologies. That's the other series.
Based on what we've seen so far this season, on the initial promotional poster for this series, they did, but based on what we've seen so far, they don't. for this part of the season. Obviously, we haven't been covering it since the very beginning. Here come the others in. Floyd is one of the only ones who carries on here, as does Todd Slauson. Andrew Floyd carrying on. John Edwards carrying on as well. Logan Gill is only just out in front of Dawson Guddick. So to answer your question that you posed rhetorically a moment ago, it has cost Gill time, because Dawson Guddick, who was a second or so behind him beforehand, is now right with him for what could be the race lead. We'll see whether it is the race lead when Compton leaves the pit lane, and here he is in the 6th car. Now, you do have to stick below the apron at this point, but there's Gill. He is absolutely with Guddick. He's only just getting in front of the likes of Nera and Wayne, so I think Compton's the race leader here by a bit of a margin.
Yeah, get up to full speed at the moment. Here he is. So you will see just in your picture at the moment there, full speed from Logan. Compton just getting up to it. I think he's up to the right speed here. Should be okay. Bang, cleared it, my friend, and almost cleared it by a couple of seconds too.
He's there or thereabouts, and he's got the fresher tyres as well by a lap or two. Indeed, by 1 lap. Andrew Floyd continues on to lap 28, by the way. Yeah. He is not intending on stopping until he runs out of fuel, now, I would say, and that might well be now. So 28 laps he's done, and he's into the pit lane. If this race stays as clean and green as we've seen so far, there's going to be a lot of green flag pit stops like the ones we've just seen. You just wonder if they could eke it out a little bit more, can't you? Some maybe alternative pit stop strategy for the likes that you just saw of Andrew Floyd. Perhaps just stretching in a few more laps. Maybe that'll also come into his favour too. Late into the race, you can definitely have a nice hard charge there, knowing that your full fresh stickies will have the grip that you need. Floyd will drop down the field now as Compton gets into the lead of this race. Yeah, already. There is traffic indeed. That's James Burns, who's just in front, I believe, in the 07. Yep, indeed it is. So Burns is 17th, about to go 1 lap down. Frank Ranger's already 1 lap down. Kenneth Boehm as well. So, yeah, these guys are now going to be fighting for the free pass, effectively. For if there is a caution at any stage, they'll want to get back on the lead lap. We're already within the 3rd distance, seeing this race turn into a very attritional one as far as lapping is concerned, and as far as a very long green flag run is concerned at the beginning here. This is the great thing when you do have green flag running on ovals, is that it spreads the field out drastically, but also comes into play with the strategy a little bit later on. Something that's more, as you know, key when it comes to road courses, but when you get to see green flag running on ovals, you do start to see that strategy fall into place. It's very good to watch. As side by side continues between Trocky and Russo. Justin Trocky going round the outside for Knight. And just notice as well how green flag pit stops split up this field in the way that these two are fighting at the moment. They were part of a large group beforehand, battling over 5th, but Howard Peoples is 10 seconds in front of them in 5th place. Some of the guys they were fighting with just outside the top 10, I mean, another 7 seconds only gets you down another couple of positions. This field has really spread out in these last couple of moments. And look at the bracelet of the track map with all the different colours on it. It seems like something you'd have when you're a kid or something like that, isn't it? Your girlfriend might give you a coloured bracelet or something. That's essentially what it looks like. Oh, we're Bill around somewhere. Bill Bonsma. I think he's towed, my friend. They might have called it caution. I was seeing something on the race control message. Just having a replay. Yeah, see what happened to him here. No, he's just very slow. I think. Has he run out of gas or something, mate? That's what's called the caution. Seems that's the only thing that has gone wrong. So, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Drivers just came down a pit road. Here's Kenneth. Unfortunately, got a black flag. Might have been for speeding down the pit lane. But Kenneth will come back out in that P17 position, maybe just ahead of Bill that we just saw pull off to the side. But under caution, the drivers just came down the pit road. You don't want to jump back down again, do you? Well, no, I don't think they'll be coming down again. Yeah. I mean, just had a pit stop, so it's not like you're going to gain that much of an advantage, but you'll lose track position. I think if this was, 56 laps from the end or so, just on the upper end of a pit stop, then there'd be many more people trying to come in, but I wouldn't expect to see anybody in here this time round. I think it's open this time round actually for the drivers to come in if they want to. Pit lane, but let's see if there are any takers. I would doubt it, as there might be a few fakers maybe, but no takers. Let's see. Gil is going to shape to the inside.
Gil's going to show a fake. In fact, no, that's not a fake, my friend.
He's coming in. That's a real one.
Yeah, he's laying his cards down. Not the only one, too. Howard's coming down. Joshua Wise is coming down. Well, there you go. My friend answered that question, whether or not they were going to gamble it just straight after they've come down to pit road only a few laps earlier.
Yeah, the answer is yes. And a surprising one as well. Just for a little bit more fuel, is it? Or are we getting more tyres here, even though there's only less than 10 laps on these tyres?
Yeah.
Bit of fuel. Do we go up on the jacks? Nope.
No.
Just fuel.
Quite a lot of fuel.
A long fuel stop though. This might be some optional repairs.
Yeah, you could be right on that one, because
this is definitely optional repairs for Gil.
Doesn't take that long to put gasoline in the car. You can see the mechanics working busy. On their screen, they are working busy, Ewan. It just doesn't appear on our broadcasting screen.
Indeed.
Yeah,
and Gil just needs the toilet.
Howard's in for some time too, so not the only one.
Don't know if there's any incidents that would show for Gil or Peoples, but I don't see any damage on their cars, to be honest, which would be the first obvious telling sign.
That is very strange.
There's the race recap. We're about a third of the way through. Brad Compton is leading the way now in this first caution. 8 lead changes. I think they've pretty much all been between Compton and Gil.
Yes.
There were a few more during the pit stop phase.
There you go. At the moment there with Andrew Floyd, of course, but staying out a little bit later. I should even see Todd get a lap in there, mate. Obviously, the 15-15 split is between Compton and Gil, but coming around to the green now, Compton with that big advantage, of course, being up in that P1, Logan Gil down at P15. He has come out of pit road at the moment, but that was 52 seconds or so. And that'll probably show up in the Wrench Wranglers repair bill at the moment.
Yeah. I think because they got out there fairly soon before the field came around that they got all the repairing done. So I don't think they'll have to come down again and whatever. But even so, it has put them towards the back end of the field. As Kevin Nerrett showed, though, who's restarting this restart from the second row, by the way, it is very possible to work your way through this field.
Yep. I think Logan Gil can do it. We know that for a fact. Howard as well. They've got the pace. As long as you get that nice green flag running is the key. Compton now has the lead, has the command, has the man that gets the, when you hear that green flag, go, 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 that's a pedal to the metal. Shouldn't steal that one from the other broadcaster, isn't it? I can't remember his name now, but I think you've worked with him. The pedal to the metal, go, go, go. What is that? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Copyright. Anyway, it's not copyright. Meantime, Brad Compton coming towards the restart zone. Here we go. It's a long way to the restart zone here at Michigan before he finally reaches it. There it is, and he waits quite a long time within it as well, and reacting well on the outside line there. Dawson Guzik is going to have a decent chance here alongside the race leader, Brad Compton. Kevin Narrett's in there as well as he's looking left and right. He's clearly got the speed. He didn't have the qualifying. He's up there now, though, as the green flag waves again at Michigan.
He's got the grills fired up with the Arby's. For sure. Whoa. Yeah. Might have had a kitchen fire at the moment, my friend, if you got into the back there of Dawson.
It was close. As they come into 3 and 4.
Wide here too, my friend. Early days. Look at Logan Gil. Slicing, dicing his way through the field already.
He was really wanting to get through this field back to the front again. And you can understand why. You can understand the urgency, because Compton will start to drag away from the rest of the field here. He's got to do this, Gil, before Compton has that chance to do that and get too far away from him.
So, 3 wide action here. Yes, it is. On your screen, it's the battle for P2. Todd's Lawson in there as well. Russo's just in the background. This is a great battle. I think these drivers realise that 46 that's in the mirrors is coming thick and fast.
They run 3 wide like this. He's not going to have much chance of getting through. There's not much space for anything right now. As Nerak goes right on the outside and he slides in front of Guzik and Slauson. Showing that he's clear. As is Bob Gill briefly before he goes down the inside of Jason McCook. And there's somebody coming straight out the pit lane, by the way, on the apron, coming right out into this. Russo also on the right-hand side right now. Logan Gill slicing and dicing.
Yep, this is why you have confidence, don't you, to spend a bit of time down in pit lane and give up all those positions, because you know when it comes to race time, he's got the pace. Oh, you don't want to get involved in the caution there, Logan.
3 wide again in the middle for McCook. One of those championship contenders, currently 3rd in the points. And chase down Logan Gill as he knows he needs to. There goes Gill to the inside again, looking for a top 5 now suddenly.
I think you're right. I don't think he likes the fact that Brad Compton's got the lap leading at the moment. Notched up on his belt. So it's time to get a move on, and that's exactly right. I don't think the engineer needs to tell Logan Gill to get a move on. He's certainly doing that right now. On the outside. Oh!
Oh, contact!
Yeah.
He's in the wall again! Wow! Gill has had damage to repair already in this race. There goes his damage repairing friend, by the way, Logan, Howard Peoples, up to the top 10. But Logan Gill's found the wall again here, and maybe more damage to put on. Certainly a lot of positions lost.
I'm just wondering who that car was. I don't think that their spotter should have told them that he was not clear at all, and just slightly turned into Logan Gill. Good work for Logan Gill to actually keep that out of the tow truck, being towed back to pit lane. So. But it will have a little bit of damage. Then again, Logan's like, well, I've already come in and fixed up my car before. I'll do it again. If there's caution, no doubt, you might certainly do that.
Yeah, indeed. Probably will do. Probably will have to. As we run on board with Jason McCook in towards turn 1. This is how to work your way through the field. Outside this time of Guzik. And he goes straight through on the outside line. Guzik not going to give up though. And Guzik not quite with the speed, it seems, as the actual start of this race. Not able to go with Compton and Nera and Slauson. And caution flies meantime.
It's Logan. It's Logan.
Wow.
So maybe he had that damage from before, my friend, and the car's a little bit undrivable, but we shall see, obviously, in the replay. Oh. Nope.
Side to side, side to side contact there. I've got to say, it looks like Logan initiates the first contact there. And then there's a second bit. And he goes all the way around.
So it'll be one bump. Ooh, that's interesting, isn't it? Like, they both kind of came into each other, didn't they? Yeah.
They did in the end.
He's lucky to keep it out of the barriers, but you got to imagine now, you'd think he'd definitely be coming down a pit lane when that opens. So, will other drivers come down a pit lane? Remember, we had a little bit of a split of the pack there last time we had that caution. Drivers came down. You can see Ryan Wayne came down. Howard Peoples went down, Joshua Wise, and, of course, Logan Gill. Let's see this time around if the likes of the rest of the pack there do decide to take advantage of our second caution tonight.
I think there will be a few more taking advantage of this one, to be honest, with the laps on the tyres that they've got compared to last time round, although those involved in the little bit of an incident there will be coming in here too with a little bit of damage. Here we go. Almost everybody in here who isn't in. Oh, yeah. Peoples carries on. I think that's how Peoples who's carried on. Yep. He has indeed. John Edwards also carries on as well. Well, that's it. Frank Ranger's still out there, but I suppose he's trying to get a wave around. Considering he's a few laps down, he could do with a few more cautions like this one to get himself back into the game. But here comes everybody. Will anybody go for a two-tire call here to try and jump ahead of the rest? as Compton pulls to a stop at the very end of the pit lane. Expect him to take 4 tyres from the front. He knows that he's got the speed. Logan Gill comes in very late here. He'll have a bit of damage to repair maybe at the end of this, but he might well take 4 tyres as well. Here come the guys down pit lane. Compton not out first. He is out behind Slawson and Kevin now as well, maybe. Definitely behind Slawson, who wins the race off pit lane.
There you go. You're right. And that was a Ford tyre pit stop as well, too, just a little bit quicker. You saw the little mistake there from Compton, wasn't it? Just overshot his box a little bit. Had to chuck it in reverse, back up. And, of course, when everybody's taking pit stops at the same time, that costs you that little bit of time. And it also didn't cost him the lead, of course, because Pat Howard did stay out and Edwards. However, potentially, it cost you a couple of positions.
There are the most recent takers to pit lane. John Edwards did come in under the last caution, but it was only for fuel, as that indicates there. So he can go a little bit further, but the thing always to worry about when you stay out under a safety car, under a caution period, is how long the next green flag run's going to be. Because for Edwards, if this is 20 laps longer or longer, then he will be pitting and on his own, laps down, for about 10 laps or so before everybody else has to come in, and that's the real danger period for him.
So, approaching on halfway distance in this race, 43 of 100. We've still got 58 to go. 2 pit stops for majority of the drivers. In fact, everybody in the field has taken 2 pit stops, apart from Kenneth has taken 3. Frank Ranger's gone back into pit lane at the moment and back out, so looked like that was a very quick... he's in his pit stall. Interesting. Chat's still quiet out there, Ewan. So, we got no fans of these fantastic gladiators that turned up here this evening to try to tackle Michigan.
Yeah, indeed. They're going all right for the moment. 2 cautions in the first half of this race. Not bad going.
Don't forget what we have next, my friend.
Yeah. Talladega next week.
No.
Keep in mind when we show you the schedule that we flipped Daytona with Talladega. So
that's right. Yeah.
Daytona could be on Daytona week.
I appreciate that. I said I'm Daytona out from last month.
I must say, I don't know. Yeah, I was speaking to Jim about this the other day. Actually, I don't know whether it's controversial or not, but I actually prefer Talladega to Daytona.
I did too, actually. You're right. I like Daytona.
I don't know if that's controversial or not, because that's 2 people who've agreed with me now. But there you go. Here come the restart zone again. 57 to go from Michigan. Hal Peoples about to bring us to the halfway mark with green flag. John Edwards alongside the 2 who haven't stopped under that second caution.
Yeah. Also, the tyres will be a little bit more worn. I think these drivers with fresh boots were well aware of that one and attacked quickly and fast. Okay, Compton, as you can see, already maybe slicing his way past the Arby's machine there of Kevin Narat, and on the tailpipe pretty quickly of Todd Slawson and Howard Peoples.
Seemingly the difference not too bad, although Edwards, to be fair, tyres seem definitely to be a bit worse for wear. Peoples holding his own. He's 3 wide here. They've got to be wary. Compton in the middle, but it's Slawson on the inside who takes the race lead at the end of lap 44.
Yeah, tied up 15 places once again, an alternative pit stop strategy. Actually, no, he just B-boxed with the rest of those drivers as well. Howard's the one that's 10 laps.
It's another race leader to chalk off, isn't it? I think it's 6 race leaders we've had now.
Yes, sir.
At this stage in the race. 5, excuse me.
Yeah, I think Compton wants to get back up and lead some more laps in there. He will be in a minute. So he's going to take that to
points for the driver who leads the most, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. Gill is coming through the pack there. It's P4. You see him in the white machine just behind Dawson. I think he wants to get up there and make sure he slaps a couple of those laps to his name.
It's either fuel only or just 2 tyres from him at the latest pit stop, by the way. So he's saving it set for a little bit later on as well. There are the last pit stop times. You see Peoples not having taken a stop at all, actually, at the most recent caution. Is getting shuffled back slowly, but Gill, the only one with a bit of a difference there. among a sea of 4 tyre changes.
And Gill didn't take any repairs as well too, so quite surprising, isn't it? After the little tank slapper into the fence and also a little bit of door banging with another car. But he's fine. It's a blinking at the moment, Brad Compton. That's always a bit scary, but thankfully Todd wasn't door to door with him, that he could predict where he's going to reappear with his magic tricks.
Lawson and Compton up ahead, side by side. Compton able to stay clear as we tear towards halfway here at Michigan. 100 miles nearly complete, another 100 to go in the Oakhouse Racing Xfinity Series this season. Narrett and Guzik side by side for 4th here. And it's Ryan Wayne who's just in with them as well. It's again the midfield where it is most entertaining.
Yep, certainly back here as well too, where Howard is. He's dropped back quite a few places now from the man that was essentially leading this race after the last caution. But of course, doesn't matter where you are at the moment with 53 laps to go. It's where you are in 53 laps at the end of the race.
Indeed.
There's still more pit stops to come too, no doubt, my friend. What do you think? The green flag? Just 2 more? Or even 1 more?
Yeah, maybe 2 more. Depends how many fuel save enough to get 1 more out. I don't think it would be possible though. Now coming to a real fuel saving race if this goes green all the way, but maybe they'll just say, well, I'm never going to make it on 1 stop, so I might as well not even bother trying. We'll wait and see what happens there. As that's sliding just up in front of Guzik there. Joshua Wise was that. Yeah, it was in the he says 51, that says 91, whatever. He gets down the inside, just chasing McCook now as well on Guzik. Very close between the two of them for 7th. This midfield stuff is so entertaining on these restarts.
That it is. It's got a little bit of the Motor Mouth broadcasting boost on the livery there of McCook's car.
See, someone's going for it. In most series we do actually. There's a Motor Mouth car. Oh, close.
Yeah, Russo's got a bird's eye view to this one, my friend. And if I was Russo, I'd be sitting back at the moment just seeing how they're going to side by side themselves there between Dawson and Chasen. Unless you just go make it 3 wide. Because why not? This is where the action has been, hasn't it? For the majority of the race back here in the midfield.
Well, this track's definitely wide enough for it, so wouldn't be out of the question at all to see 3 wide as into 1 and 2. Peoples overtaken there by Trocky. Peoples really hoping for a caution soon here. And to be fair, he might cut his losses rather soon and decide to pit because we are in the second half of this race now.
Logan Gill putting a lot of trust at the moment there in Wayne. Kevy, sorry. Yep. That's why I get hungry. I want some Arby's every time I see that. Damn you, Kevin. No Arby's over here in Australia, mate. You're just teasing me.
You fall for it every week.
I know, I do.
The inside might get clear here. No, he can't pull up in front. So, Narrett gets a run, but he's very close to the outside line there, the outside wall. There he goes again. Back up to 3rd. And Gill still there on the inside as well. It's so far apart, these two. Look at that. One down on the line, down low, and one next to the wall. Both of them almost exactly the same speed. Now it nearly got into Gill there, though, and turned him. That was very close. Cooperation needed between the two of them to make sure they didn't hit each other there.
Yeah, it's wide enough. So it's wider than Talladega almost. You're going to fit 4 cars in there if you want. Wouldn't risk it up with the way they're sliding a little bit. But great battle you can see between Kevy and Logan. He doesn't want Kevin to get away with this one. I mean, Logan to get away up the road. I think Brad Compton will be happy with that situation while he continues to lead a few more laps.
See there alongside, it's not too far there. Well, he's there or thereabouts again. These two seem very well matched. To be fair, Compton and Slawson do out front as well. They're only separated by 1/10 of a second at the end of another lap here, as we see the fastest 5 4 of the top. In fact, the top 5 are indeed the fastest 5. There they are. Not quite in the right order, but they're all there.
Yep. There you go. Howard is in eventually. You said it was probably praying for a caution. Unfortunately, it has had to have a pit stop under green, which will probably put him at least a lap, if not 2 down from our leaders.
Yep. Well, he's not a lap down yet, but he's only just come to a stop to do his service, so he will go a lap down. Luckily for him, he'd be the only one lap down, so that's not as dangerous as it is for, like what I was talking about earlier on, for someone like Edwards or what it would have been on the previous restart of the first caution to pit early. But because Peoples is on his own 1 lap down there, he's safer, and he knows as well that it's going to take ages for anybody else to go a lap down. Burns is 16 seconds off the leader. Lap times around here nearly 40 seconds, so he's not in much danger at the moment, Peoples, as tenuous as it seems to go a lap down.
Copton can hold out here for another couple of dozen laps. He will take the lap leaders. It won't be enough time for Logan Gill to do anything about that at the moment. He's just going to, you can see, Todd feels like he wants to lead a couple of laps now.
He's got 3 to his name, more than Peoples and Floyd managed earlier in their short stints at the front when they were cycling through pit stops. Compton holds firm on the outside though, and he can't stay alongside quite.
Yeah.
So Slauson slides in front, and he leads now, and as you commented earlier, gained 15 places to get up to here.
Yep. That'll be a nice smile on his face there, as you can see. He is the biggest gainer in the race. We've got Kevy a little bit further back in that P3, up 12. Another green flag pit stops there for Wesley, my friend. He's gone down into pit road. So, interesting. 44 laps to go. That'd be a stretch, wouldn't it? Take it to the end. I mean, even if you had the fuel, how are your tyres going to feel? I'll check that track temperature as well. It's pretty much vaping over here and then the Mid-East?
Midwest,
sorry, yeah. God, I lived in Minnesota. You'd think I'd know, wouldn't you? It's a couple of states over.
You really have lived everywhere.
Yeah.
There's not a single place you've not lived.
There's a bit of a slide too, you see from Brad there. A little puff of smoke coming out of the tyres as well too.
By the way, on as far as making it to the end on fuel is concerned, I think we need to get to lap 72 to start thinking about that. That is still 14 laps away. I'm not very interested to see whether these guys try and do that, but I think what's more likely is around lap 60 people start to come in again for their second green flag pit stops of the day, their third actual pit stops, and they decide to split it up that way. But maybe there'll be a few people who do try it.
Exactly right. Nice little squabble here with Wise and McCook. Interesting as well too that Logan tried to get past Kevy, couldn't get past Kevy. Kevy's now trying to clear it on Logan Gill a little bit too, so that's interesting in that battle. About the pace that Logan Gill hasn't really come off. But then again, he could still be nursing that damage, couldn't he? Before.
Yeah. Didn't seem that he did any repairs last time round, so that would suggest to me more than anything that there wasn't any damage. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't have taken the damage repair at that stage.
Maybe he felt that the car was right, because when you get out there and start putting a couple of laps in, you realise there might be just a slight little bit that could be hindering. Either that, or just maybe just playing at caution with his tyres, knowing that maybe he can stretch a few more laps out here before another round of pit stops coming up soon, and try the overcut.
Wayne and Gill side by side again there, as we ride on board with Wise, who's looking to the inside of Rousseau for 8th place further up the road. Gill and Wayne absolutely locked together down the backstretch.
Yeah, it's Wayne now trying to bring it to Logan. Yeah.
40 laps to go when they get to the line here. Tearing through this race at unbelievable speed. These 200 miles getting clicked away very, very quickly. Actually, at full green speed, by the way, they were on course to complete this in just 1 hour and 10 minutes. When you think about 200 miles in 70 minutes, that gives you an idea of how fast they're going.
Ooh, up on the fence there, Wayne. He's going to have to lift it. keep the car in control, my friend. Not quite sure what that is on the back of his car there, that yellow. It's his sun or something like that, but it looks great. I think it's on the front there. Happy Thursday.
I don't know what that refers to. Some yellow. It's like a lemon with wings.
It could be a lemon with wings. You might be right on that one. That's one for the chat, but a bit quiet out there.
Might be an American thing we're not aware of.
Yeah. We've got a British and an Australian in here, so we don't necessarily know all the different chains that are in the United States. James Burns comes
sort
in.
of TV program or whatever. Anyway.
Never a dull
Side by
moment,
side
is it,
again
with Logan Gill when he's racing.
For fourth place. Maybe Gill is struggling with a bit of damage, but again, I just don't think there is any, because he would have repaired it if there was, but maybe you're right that there is something in that. He slides up the racetrack there through turn 4, and Wayne continues to frustrate him. As they approach 2/3 distance in this race, you can imagine it is frustrating the pole sitter at the moment, because he just cannot seem to get past Wayne in front of him.
No, and all the while, that gap up the road there to Kevin has increased. Todd is still in the lead of this one over Compton, as Compton's allowing him to have a few laps that he can lead there. John Edwards has just come down at pit road. Getting close, do you think, to that pit stop window again? 38 to go. Yeah.
Well, they're not going to make it to the end if they pit now, that's for sure, but I don't think that will be the main concern. I think Edwards has gotten to the end of his fuel stint here. He couldn't have gone any further anyway.
Hope Compton appears. There he is. Doing that disappearing
Compton
act
has
again.
been disappearing once or twice. And I think these guys might well run it as far as they can, but you know, I don't see the negatives in pitting now, to be honest, for one of the leaders. You know that you're not going to make this race on one more stop. You know if this race goes green to the end that you're going to have to make 2 more, so why not try and split this race up into more easy pieces to live with here. They've been out there for 23 laps now. A little bit of caution, so I expect them to maybe go to lap 70. Maybe that's at the stage where they are thinking, well, a lap or 2 of fuel saving and I can make it to the end here. Let's see how they're going to try this, and how much fuel is saved under caution indeed to try and make this possible.
Lots of questions out there that the engineers will be crunching down there in pit lane to try to alert their drivers. What can we do here in this situation if we continue to go nice green flag racing that we've had? Just the 2 cautions. So I don't even think that first caution really with Bill just parking it off on the inside there. Should have been a caution, but iRacing, of course, just deemed it so. We need to get some more AI working in iRacing in the future so we can analyse the races a little bit more accurate. Although I know you're not a fan of the AI.
Oh, yeah, I can't say, or you could use your head. How about that?
Yeah.
Have we ever thought of that?
Well, that means you got to have a race control down there, don't you? Call a caution. John Russo comes in.
Yeah, John Russo. So, yeah, this is what I mean, really. These guys will be running out of fuel pretty soon, and certainly running out of life with the tyres, and you just think, well, we're not going to make it on one stop anyway. Why are we trying? But I'll say, maybe they can. Maybe that's where the difference is. You know, this is where the unpredictability comes in here. 66 laps complete. We're pretty much 2/3 the way through then. This race being conducted at lightning speed, and Slawson versus Compton is the fight for the win at the moment, in a very tactical race as well. Pit strategy still unfolding here at nearly 200 miles an hour.
And they're also in the top list there of the fastest 5 laps average, with Ryan Wayne in P4. That's just in there behind the Arby's car of Kebby.
Ryan Wayne looks pretty good in that
Oh,
fastest 5.
there it is again. You see that from Compton? Just a little wiggle in the rear end. That's that puff of smoke too.
Spent a long time running behind Slawson now in this battle. When it was Gill he was fighting with, they were trading positions quite often, but Compton is receiving that dirty air relentlessly, and has been for a while now.
Yep, I think he's struggling actually at the moment, and including this man, Logan Gill, because it looks like Dawson just got past him, so he's dropped back another place into P6. You want to be careful too, because Chase and McCook's looking pretty quick out there in the number 14.
So no one's fighting with Wayne, but struggling to hold on in front of Guzik. Yeah, Gill has got to be in here unless he's fuel saving to make it to the end as Compton comes in. 32 laps to go to the end. Surely there's no way he can fuel save all the way home from there.
Oh, well, maybe he thinks that he can. You saw him struggle a little bit at the tyres, so he's definitely going to put some freshies on.
Be absolutely massive if he could. But I personally doubt it. As there to the inside goes Guzik. It looks like he's coming in now as well. We are absolutely in the window of pit stops now, and a lot of people are coming in.
Yep. Looks like chasing as well. Absolutely.
Slawson's in from the lead too.
Yep.
So Compton is going to get an undercut of a lap there. Nerat's in. Wayne, Guzik, McCook, all into the pit lane. In the background there you can see some more stoppers as well. Jason Trockey is into the pit lane along with Joshua Wise and Brandon Biggs. This is the time to come in for all these leaders. And
make sure you don't miss your pit box as well too, Compton, from before.
Whoa, dear me, Wise 50. Definitely missed it.
Yeah.
There is Slawson comfortably out in front of the others, but where is Compton going to be in relation to him? He will pop out behind the pit building in a second.
Gill comes in.
As Gill comes in for the race lead.
Oh! Whoa. Make sure you stop it there, Gill. Wonder if it didn't come up with a black flag, so I think he did get it stopped in time. But Slawson should come back out there and remain in the lead of this race. There's Compton behind him, so pit stop's done. Looks like Howard's made a mistake somewhere too, mate. He has.
Off of 4. I saw him quite loose off of 4.
Yeah.
Amazed that he didn't cause a caution there, actually, but he must have spun into the grass.
Oh, he's wall riding at the moment too. I think going into this, yeah, did a bit of wall riding, and I think that'll be a save. Oh, that'll be a semi-spin. Now, that didn't trigger caution, my friend, but a car on the inside field before did. It's quite amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
How these things are determined. But here's Compton putting some pressure right there on Slawson to lead the race.
I feel like there's something we're missing in that first caution that we didn't see. But,
might be right.
But might not be findable for us, unfortunately. Because, yeah, that was a very soft first caution, you would say, in this race. Anyway, look at that between Compton and Slawson. Super close as Slawson slid up in front of the 6. But Compton gets his nose in front by the line anyway. This has got the early setup of the very battle that's going to decide this win.
I think you're absolutely right. Believe it or not, when they come out of that pit stop, so they've got a 4-second gap on Kebby back there. You can probably just see him coming out of turn 2 right now. So that's quite a significant gap, isn't it, between these drivers? Of course, that'll be all neglected if there's a caution. But however, we get green flag to the end. I'll be okay. Once again, are they going to, as you said, have enough fuel here to stretch it with 29 laps remaining?
I don't think they're going to stretch it to the end here. I mean, if you remember that first stint of the race, Andrew Floyd went the furthest. He did 28 laps. I suspect that was even with a shade of fuel saving. We've only just got to 28 laps to go now. And a number of these drivers have been out for laps already. So they're either hoping for cautions here or accepting that they're going to have to make another green flag pit stop before the end of the day.
As you can see, a couple other drivers. Who's that? Looks like coming in. I think that was Howard, wasn't it? Just getting out of the way. So there it is, you can see. So 3, 4 also laps that they've done. John Russo, of course, would be the one that would be suffering the most, wouldn't he? If 7 laps he's done. We're going to caution.
Oh, caution. 27 to go, and there's a caution.
Just trying to see.
Which either is going to allow them to fuel save under to make it home, or is indeed going to allow them to make that final pit stop, which will get them all the way home.
I wonder if it was Howard. Just trying to see, is he made a mistake coming on the pit road? I can't see anybody else particularly. Oh, stopped. Couldn't imagine that was a caution. Would you? Is that out of gas?
No. I don't know why you would have to do that,
Yeah.
if I'm honest. He's out of the race now, though.
I don't see anything else. I didn't see any cars that were going drastically slow on track map. at the time, so one of those caution gremlins, my friend. But this will flip things around. Now you'd come in, wouldn't you? Because you'll definitely have enough if you fill it up to go to the end.
Well, unless they think the fuel saving they'll do under the caution will be enough, in which case you stay out and take the track position, because you haven't been on the tyres for too long. But yeah, they might well just come in and top off here just to make sure that they can make it to the end, and here they come. So we are going to see a lot of stops here. We're going to see some guys trying to stay out for a wave around too, like James Burns there. Guzik stays out, as does Gill. So they believe that the fuel saving done, and Gill stayed out almost longer than anybody else.
Yeah.
Brandon Biggs stays out as well, but maybe they have decided this caution will allow them to do enough fuel saving on its own.
Well, you'd absolutely be right on that one. That's certainly going to be relying on your strategy. Like one of the pit crews that are down there at the moment, they've got the old American flag all wrapped on their overalls. That looks nice.
So Compton out first in front of Slawson, then Nera, then Wayne in the race off pit lane. Jason McCook next, followed by Jason Trockey, Joshua Wise, Andrew Floyd. Then a longer stop further down. James Burns will get the wave around here.
Oh.
And get back onto the lead lap, I think.
Yeah.
In fact, he's already received that. Or did he got the free pass? Either way, he's back onto the lead lap there in 14th position.
So we do have a chat out there. Thanks, Thomas. He's saying it's boring over there in race control chat. Thomas, you probably will let us know. What was the recent caution called for? Did it spot anything in particular? Maybe you can fill us in on that one. Ewan?
Yeah, that remains a mystery at the moment to us. Remains a mystery what's going to happen on this restart as well, because no tyres were taken from those behind, but Guzik and Gill are fast. They have not taken the fuel that might well get them to the end of the day. Either way, they might make it anyway, but it's going to be interesting to watch and find out here what happens on this restart. Compton and Slawson especially going to be very motivated to try and get past those guys on the front row there.
Barney waving the holding up the yellow flag. Oh, hurt your arm after a while there, Barney. I'd be willing to rest that in a second and switch it over to a green flag. These drivers make their way around again.
He must have some good blood circulation in his arms. Hold them up for that length of time all the time.
Quite the opposite weather than what it would be. Well, then again, apparently in the States people have been having like bits of ups and downs. Like hot one day, cold another kind of scenario. Like Melbourne weather, let's say, 4 seasons in one. But let's go back and have a look at the weather that we're having currently at the moment. And there it is. So it's 104. Absolutely no wind. We can see the cars, so it's not overcast.
Yeah.
Or
Slightly
foggy.
decreasing temperature, but nothing really to worry about. It's just been one of those tyre-wearing racetracks anyway. To the degree of about 2 or 2.5 seconds over the course of a run.
Make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying it and subscribing to the multiple platforms that we're streaming on here. Of course, we're presenting it by Motormouth Broadcasting with Ewan and myself. Jim would be doing it, but Jim's broadcasting something else at the same time.
Yeah, indeed. 24 laps to go, and we have our third restart of the day. Logan Gill and Dawson Guzik on the front, in front of all those who've pitted and know that they can make it to the end here.
Crunch time.
Look at the two leaders side by side, so close. Slawson and Compton as well. And here goes Compton. Is he making it 3 wide for the race lead here? Surely he hasn't got a run to do that, has he? He's alongside Gill, only just. Gill gets in front of him, makes sure that he holds on to the lead.
This seems familiar, doesn't it? Back to the early stages of the race, and whoa!
Oh, contact! Guzik somehow saves it. Now he'll go for a spin. Down into the grass on the infield.
Got damage.
Oh, has he got pretty bad damage maybe?
Yep.
I'm not sure.
Yep.
It wasn't too hard contact, but he's got very bad damage.
No caution. I hate to believe that. So
No.
we go green flag racing. That's good. Compton right on the outside at the moment. There's Slauson, as you can see, and he might have just snuck himself up that P2. Slauson will come back on the inside. All this while Logan Gill will watch this in his mirrors.
He'll be enjoying this in his mirrors because it's just delaying him getting caught right now. And he's not being involved really in this battle for the lead. Of course, tyres are exactly the same for these guys, but Gill, the only concern is about making it all the way home.
I think that'll be the key, isn't it? The 4 tyres that he took, so he will have the traction when he needs it at the end of the race, whereas you kind of wonder if Todd and Brad are going to be able to really push him in the 22 laps.
.21 laps to go very shortly as Compton gets a good run off of turn 4.
Right.
In front will take that inside again.
Yep, thank you out there from race control there from Thomas. He believes that it was because Howard Peoples pulled over the apron there and came to a stop, and that's what we did catch on the replay. So thank you very much for that. It would make sense. Check out old Brandon Briggs here, having a nice little squabble there with Joshua Wise. P5. 4.
It's a good run from Biggs actually to move up into the top 5. And find outside the top 10 at the beginning of the day. Nobody's moving up as far as Slauson, of course, but nevertheless, 2 unfamiliar names for the top 5 in this race.
Kevin's
finding themselves battling for 4th with just 20 to go.
Yeah. It's interesting why Kevin's gone down the pit road. Could that be a strategy to bring it to the end?
He got a black flag for some reason.
Right.
Seemed to be on the restart. Maybe he wasn't in the right position or something, but pretty unfortunate really for him to get a black flag. It's going to drop him a long way.
I think right now Joshua Wise will be like engage in the NOS that he has. Oh, that's a NOS energy drink. I thought that was a NOS that you use for adding yourself a little bit extra horsepower. It's the same, isn't it?
Yeah. Part of the advertisement. So good fight for 4th place. But the battle out front is for the race lead, and Logan Gill is starting to clock off the laps in the lead again, by the way. I don't think he's doing quite enough to get near Compton. 14 laps behind still. He needs to lead almost all of the ones remaining if he's going to take Compton's 5 points as far as lap lead is concerned. That's between championship contenders, don't forget. That's why it's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to make sure he keeps Todd behind him here. Absolutely. And of course, more importantly, Compton as well. Comes to those laps being led. Quite interesting, wasn't it? His middle stint of the race, just running in that mid-pack. And of course, the strategy worked out perfectly in that other round of pit stops, and he elected to stay out and got that track position back, and he hasn't looked back since.
.17 to go at the line here. And Gill is holding on nicely. As long as he's got the fuel to get to the end, could be set up for a very exciting finish between these 3.
And once again, going through his mind, isn't it? Laps led to take those extra points. You wouldn't maybe necessarily fighting it as much with 17 to go, but if he wants to take that laps led, he's got to make sure he keeps Todd behind him.
It's going to be a big ask over such a long period of time here. I know the laps get clocked off quite quickly around here due to the speed, but it's going to feel like a very long time to Logan Gill at the moment. Try and keep Slauson behind for all that time. Could be quite some time as well.
And what's interesting from Thomas out there in the chat saying Kevin pitted because of the water temperatures were fixing to blow his engine. Well, I guess the hot temperatures out there it is. I'm just wondering if that's going to be affecting some of the other drivers as well too. This is running
strange.
Dirty air.
On board again with Wise. Just in behind Biggs, and here comes Wayne. Along with Trocky and Russo, Floyd. They're all not that far away in this fight for fourth. So these two have fought quite hard for this. Now they might have it stolen off them at the end.
There's Wayne up on the inside too. So just like that, in basically half a lap there, Biggs falls from fourth to sixth, my friend. And got to be careful of these drivers behind him too, of Russo and Trocky. Just having to do those fastest 5 laps as well too. I was wondering if those drivers are probably close to being in there. Not really.
Over the line again.
Yeah, chat as well too there from Thomas. Thanks for once again and keeping us entertained out there in the chat. He says Kevin Gill on the wall. Oh, he did earlier. He was in the wall a little bit, but he did get those repairs one time done. Now he's got to make sure he keeps it out of the wall.
Yeah, indeed. Slaughter and Compton might be taking each other out of this by fighting like this as they come off of turn 4. They're still 4 tenths or so behind Logan Gill, who is not getting away yet, but he is holding them off. So I wonder at what point this becomes a concern to these two about the laps that Logan Gill is leading, and the fact he might make it to the end here and he might hold on to the win.
Also getting down to about 10 to go soon, so that's when you got to start making a move too. You can't just be sitting back if you want to get that race win. I think if Todd and Brad are going to basically have a little secret conversation and go, you want to win? We're going to have to work together a little bit here to catch Logan. Because battling each other at the moment, as you can see, Ewan, isn't really helping them.
No, although they're not falling much further away from Gill either.
Look at that,
while
12
doing
laps
this.
to go. 7 obviously away and taking the lap lead away from Compton. So I think Logan would know that in the back of his mind. Probably more focusing just on the race win, but that's an extra bonus.
Yeah, it's definitely more focused on the race win at the moment, but we'll keep an eye. It is only going to be between those two now. We know that much as they hit 11 to go now. These are the 3 who will fight over the victory. Gill has been leading now for some time since this restart, but at what point does he get more seriously challenged?
I'm just thinking as well too, do they have those tyres? We'd looked at it in the pit stop information too, and they took the fuel. And so they've been doing 15 laps, more, if not actually more, go to those laps prior to that on those boots, whereas Logan's, like, he's only done 19 laps on fresh boots. So I think when push comes to shove, he's going to have that extra grip that Todd and Brad might not have towards the end of this race if they want to attack him.
They've got to work up a plan very soon. Have those two at the front of the field if they want to win this race. I'm sure they will do.
Oh!
And Slauson is now challenging
Wow.
a little bit further. There he goes to the inside. Wow, firing down the inside with 10 to go. And Logan Gill, for the first time in multiple laps now, has been displaced.
Did Logan just make a mistake, mate? Because he had that little bit of a gap. Todd just absolutely sent it. Come on, Brad, reappear, please. Get to the end of that one. Certainly will scare Logan, won't it? As I've just zoomed on by. What is it? Did Logan might have had a little tank slapper against the fence or something? Apologies for not showing that on the camera.
Well, is that the end of Gill's challenge for the race win here? Is he suffering for fuel, and is he realising this race might go green all the way to the end and I need to save some fuel to get there?
Let's have a listen. Yep. There it is, mate. Lift and coast. Lift and coast. I think you're absolutely right. How about the other drivers? Let's go up to Brad. Nope.
Yeah, barely lifting. Obviously,
Barely
it's different
lifting.
in towards turn 1 than it is turn 3, but even so, Gill is definitely fuel saving here. I think he's realised that this is not necessarily going to see another caution, and he needs to make sure that he's going to get to the end if there isn't one.
Yeah, because you got to remember too, Logan Gill, if you look at that pit stop stats, he had come in at 4 laps earlier than these drivers. That's a big difference, isn't it, on gasoline for a race? He's dropped off significantly now, almost 2 seconds from this battle pack at front. I think he's got to just desperately try to hold them to a podium now, hey?
Who is going to come out on top in this fight for the win here? Compton and Slauson. Oh, look at them weaving left and right here on the backstretch. This is for the win. Surely it is going to be for the win now. Compton on the outside line, looking to go high all the way round. Slauson stays in front, 6 laps to go as they cross the line here. How much longer can he hold on for? This is going to be a grandstand finish between the two of them.
Todd will be happy as well too. If he can maintain the lead of this one, he'll also be the biggest gainer in the race, up 15 places. You could say goodbye to that lap leaders as well too, isn't it? That one will go to Brad. Now, if Logan's not out front there to be able to gain those extra 5 that he needed, 6 actually, to not just tie. But here it is, Ewan. There is a little bit of a battle going between 6th, 7th as well too, and 8th. But I don't want to take take the camera away from the lead, because you know what happened last time. We kind of missed the overtake.
Well, this is what's going to happen now for the remainder of this race. Compton throwing attacks at Slauson, who's trying to continually defend them. Compton trying to gain points on Logan Gill in this championship, don't forget. 108 points behind now after last week's race at Homestead Miami Speedway. He needs to close that gap over the course of the next 5 weeks. This is the 5th last round of the season, round 10, and he's searching for the victory. He's going to have the most laps led here, Compton. He's going to get those 5 bonuses over Logan Gill, although that will be negated by Gill's pole position, of course. Can Compton maximise his points gain with a race victory here by passing Slauson in the final 4 laps?
I think his one person will know that will be Brad. Thanks to Thomas, said bring it up in the interviews as well too, about close to fuel. That was the situation. If that was the situation with Logan Gill, we saw that, lifting and coasting. He is okay. He's got a bit of space between himself there and Joshua Wise in P4, so I think he can maintain that podium. But who's he going to be standing next to on the top step? Will it be Todd or Brad?
Indeed.
Well, probably
He's going to be towering over the others.
Yeah,
3 laps. Oh, yes. 3 laps to go.
Right, you got to be careful, isn't it? You don't want to get too far up the front there, because you can just scrub a little bit of speed like that, and all of a sudden, the car that's behind you is right into it. Lap traffic up the road. I don't know. You wonder if they'd be approaching that traffic in time. Shouldn't really be a problem. This track is wide enough to move on by.
I think it will be. Compton has got to focus absolutely in on, though, getting close enough for a move in time here. Slauson, a bit of a slide, but Compton's not that close, to be honest.
Oh, he had a slide too. He saw a little wiggle from Compton as well. Almost mirrored what Todd was doing.
There he goes a little bit closer, but can't quite do it. These guys have been running for nearly 25 laps now in a great run to the finish here at Michigan. There's only a lap and a half to go for Compton to find his way past, and so far he's struggling to do it.
Biggs had to go in pit lane too, so he probably definitely ran out of gas, or close to absolutely running out of gas, and had to sacrifice that position. Drop down outside the top 10. Here we go. Time to get a move on, and it is from Compton, side by side.
He's not quite alongside. He's got to throw something at this, though, on the white flag lap. Slauson blocks him on the low side. Compton left with a lane, but he doesn't take it on the inside, which has not been the favoured line today. And Slauson gets a good run off of turn 2 as well.
Absolutely. Brilliant drive in there from Slawson. That's the time that you got to be perfect, isn't it? On the last lap of the race for the race lead.
Compton looking for his second win of the season to close the championship points gap. But Todd Slawson from 16th on this grid is going to hold on at Michigan and win in the Oakhouse Racing Xfinity Series.
Brilliant drive. Hats off there to Slawson, and we'll be chatting to him, no doubt, in the post-race interviews coming up very soon.
Wow, that was very well done. Compton just couldn't seem to find his way past. When we saw Compton earlier with Gill in the first third of this race, they were exchanging positions for fun, but he couldn't get past once there. That was quite remarkable. Todd Slawson taking race victory here tonight from Michigan. It's only his 6th start of the season in the 10 races we've had now, but he's taken his first race victory, and it comes from 16th on the grid as well.
Celebrate, my friend. There's your Netflix Drive to Survive series right there.
He's going to be celebrating this one for a while, is Slawson, I suspect, as he takes the victory in the end by half a second in front of Brad Compton, who does gain in a very minor way over Logan Gill, who had to fuel save, I think, towards the end there. Big battle behind Joshua Wise. It did get 4th place though, in front of Andrew Floyd, Ryan Wayne and John Russo. Jay Trockey, Chase McCook and John Edwards rounded out the top 10. Brandon Biggs, Kevin Dowd, James Burns were on the lead lap there. Frank Ranger 3 down, and then the non-finishers. Dawson Guzik, Howard Peoples, Wesley Beasley, Kenneth Bohm, Bill Bonsma and the non-starter David Palmer down the back end of the field. Let's have a chat, shall we? We'll go the wrong way up the podium this time. Why not? Logan Gill comes to join us from 3rd. Logan, welcome in. Congratulations on the 3rd place run tonight, but what was that last run like? Were you just saving a little bit of fuel there to make it to the end?
I wish I knew. I felt like we had a really good car there at the end, and I was saving that run before, and I feel like I saved enough. That's why I didn't come in. I was a lap ahead of the cutoff to the end, so I thought I was good. And somehow we burned up too much fuel somehow, so I'm not really too sure. I'm going to have to go back and look and study how that happened. I feel like I had that, and we didn't have enough fuel, so not too sure what happened there.
Well, in the end, it's still a 3rd place finish. You finished only 1 position behind Brad Compton, who's your closest championship rival. The gap will dip below just under 100 points now, but it's still a pretty big margin. How are you feeling about that margin with the next 4 races, with it in mind that Talladega is up next week?
I'm feeling all right about it. Talladega is next week, like you said. I have some good teammates. I know we can control the race if we want to. I don't know the strategy with how Daytona went, though. So we're just going to have to play it by ear, Races after that, I feel really good at all those tracks. So just got to make it through next week, and we should be good.
All right, well, we'll see you next week for Talladega. But for now, Logan, thanks for chatting to us, and congrats on 3rd place tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Logan Gill, 3rd place here from Michigan. 2nd place, Brad Compton's not here yet, so we'll go to our race winners tonight, shall we? Todd Slawson, who joins us now. Todd, welcome in. Congratulations on taking a great race victory there in front of Brad Compton, your 1st of the season. Tell us how it feels to hold him off there and how it felt throughout those final few laps as well as the pair of you were fighting for the win.
Yeah, what an exciting battle between Brad and I. Logan as well. He did a heck of a job there maintaining the lead, and that was an adrenaline rush for sure. I had a really good time.
How have you been finding the season so far? I know you've not been at every round, but this, as I say, is your 1st race victory of the season. And, of course, for this round, you started all the way down in 16th place as well. So how have you been finding it?
Yeah, I started the season a few races behind. Didn't start at the very beginning of the season, so that definitely hurt me. And then I missed a couple races since then. So after I'm finding a little consistency here, I'm starting to kind of get my feet under me and starting to click off some pretty good finishes and have some really nice battles. Had a good time at Dover battling Logan there. Came up a little bit short at that race, finished 2nd, but a really good time. I'm starting to figure out how everybody drives, everyone's driving style. and I'm adapting to that. So really enjoying this league so far.
Well, congratulations on getting your first win of the season in here, and thanks for chatting to us at the end of the race as well.
I appreciate you guys. I can't wait to watch the broadcast back.
Thanks very much. Todd Slauson, first place here tonight from Michigan in the Oakhouse Racing Xfinity Series. And while we were chatting to him, Brad Compton gets himself into the waiting room as well. Brad, welcome in. Congratulations on a second place finish tonight. But how disappointed are you not to have made that extra step just to get the win there?
Well, I was happy it came down to me in the 88, to be honest with you. And I had no way of really getting around him. I didn't have enough right rear tire left to really make the outside work to get a run onto him to get to his inside. And I was the best on the bottom, which was the same exact lane that he was running. And I wasn't going to rough him up or anything for it because he raced me clean the entire race. So I was happy to see him get it. I'm happy with the finish I earned, and it was a nice, clean race.
And it brings you to within 100 points of Logan Gill either way, even though obviously you were close to getting even more points tonight. How do you feel about that gap going into the last 4 rounds? Logan had the Talladega race next week circled as sort of the big one, really, as far as that run to the end of the season is concerned. Is that the one high on your list as well as ones to sort of look at in the remainder of this season?
Well, we saw how Daytona went. Only, 5 cars finished? So that could go either way. I mean, I could get wrecked, he can get wrecked. You never know what could happen there. But as for trying to outpoint him in every single race with a 100-point gap, it's going to be really, really tough because that man is good everywhere.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you again next week at Talladega, of course, Brad. But thanks for chatting to us tonight, and congrats on second place at Michigan.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks very much. That is Brad Compton, who finishes second place at Michigan tonight. Biggles, 4 rounds to go in our season now, and what a fitting run to the end between Todd Slauson and Compton. And pleased for Slauson, actually, to go on from 16th place all the way through to go on and get his first win of the season. That was a great drive.
First one's the one that you always remember as well, too. So absolutely brilliant. And it wasn't easy as well, too. He had to really fight that nice fight between Brad at the end there to hold him off for multiple laps there to get that 15th position gained, and once again his first race win. So GG's to that. Of course, in the calendar, as we mentioned earlier, it's not Daytona, it's Talladega. Those were switched around. Then, of course, we go over to Nashville, Charlotte, and then the lady in black at Darlington.
Staying roughly in the south for the rest of the season, roughly, with Talladega, Nashville, Charlotte and Darlington still to come. 5th of April, our finale indeed in Oakhouse Racing's Xfinity Series. We'll be live on Motormap Broadcasting each and every week until then. Myself and Biggles will be with you, of course, next week, live from Talladega. Don't miss it. It's the big one as far as this run to the end of the season is concerned. The gap now between the points leaders, Logan Gill and Brad Compton, is below 100 points once again. Make sure you join us again next week to find out what happens at Talladega. I've been Ian Leary alongside Dean Biggles. From all of us here at Michigan, it's goodbye for now.